It's another episode of A Certain Sound with Derek Seagraves. I'm an evangelist, and I am serving you through this podcast. This is a in-between episode. This is going to be a short, and I'm going to deliver to you exactly how I have written my book, how I intend to write future books, and it's a great system to get you writing and get you actually published as an author. So if you have a testimony that you want to see shared and spread all over the world, to encourage people to build faith, if you have a biblical insight that you think should have more impact, then this is for you. This podcast is for you. If you have a book in you, I want to help you get it out. And my writing career started while I was in college. I saw that there was a gap in the books out there. I couldn't find a book on how to study my Bible better, how to make my Bible a better resource is what I was looking for. And so I wound up looking up individual methods and improving some, inventing some, and compiling these into a book called Hack Your Bible, which is now available on Amazon.com. And in doing that, through trial and error, I developed a very lightweight, very quick publishing process. And after I did that, some different people came to me and asked me to publish their books, and it just kind of organically grew into KingdomPublisher.com. And now Sister Freeman was one of those people to republish her mother's books, Nona Freeman, and some others like that. And it's a great system. I won't tell you about my publishing process. If you want to know about that, go to kingdompublisher.com or email me or tweet me or call me. My number's right on my website, and I'll be happy to talk to you about that. But I want to get you to the point where you're ready to be published. That is the turning point. A lot of people, I've talked to many pastors, many ministers that have a book in them, several sometimes, and they just can't get themselves to write. And so a while ago, I put together my system, just looked at what I had done and what had worked and what hadn't, and so I want to deliver that to you right now in a short, really quick little episode. This isn't a regular episode. On A Certain Sound, I intend to drop a new interview on an important subject every Tuesday, and this is just kind of a free bonus short bit here. But the challenge is, in writing, that it is hard. It's mental work that doesn't immediately produce results, and that can be discouraging. So you're pecking away at your keyboard, and it just doesn't feel like you're getting any closer to the end of the book, because you know as soon as you're done writing, you're going to have to edit it. Maybe you're going to have to add things you forgot. And so writing is hard work. It's a challenge mentally to organize your thoughts, and it's a challenge emotionally to put yourself out there in such a permanent way. It's very permanent when you write something, and maybe you didn't think about this, but a lot of people, this is why they don't write, is because they don't want to be challenged on what they wrote. They don't want to be rebuffed. They don't want to put something out there and somebody say they're wrong. They don't want to be criticized. And when you put yourself out in print, anybody can buy your book and then criticize you. And that goes away with good organization and good editing. But to get to that point, you have to overcome this emotional hurdle. But there's a great promise in writing also. And this is what draws people to it. I think one of the greatest benefits of writing, especially in our sphere, in the Apostolic Pentecostal movement, is that it scales a ministry. So my book has sold on 4 continents, and I've never left this one. I'm ministering to people right now that are reading the book. I had some kids at the camp I was just at who bought the book and told me, oh, I'm only a third of the way through it. But I've been teaching them how to get into their Bible, make their Bible better, without actually sitting down with them. And so it's multiplied my efforts. I put some effort into the book, and now it's sold all over the world, and I get to impact people that way. Also, there is the promise of some monetary gain. Ministries are supported very often through CDs and books, especially when you take your books with you when you speak. And so there's that promise also. So there's a lot of benefits in writing, and I think that the benefits are there for you to overcome those emotional and physical hurdles, overcome that mental block, and overcome the fear that comes with writing. And so the question is how? How is it then that we can write in an effective way? And the 2 largest obstacles to writing can be overcome through accountability, I believe. Accountability and outlining. And so first I'll deal with outlining. Outlining is really quite simple. It's It's a process that I think everybody learned in middle school, and it's something that we don't use in everyday life, but it's powerful. It's how I take notes when I'm listening to sermons, and it's how I've designed the books that I'm writing. You write an outline, and you write down the main points you want to hit, and then you support those points. So you could write verses that you're going to support those with, or case studies, or stories underneath each of those points. And then you can write further subpoints. And as you develop your outline, what's nice about it is it forces you to organize. But as you develop your outline, you can pretty much write your book right from the outline. I have just copied a section of my outline, put it in a Word document, and then written about it, and then later copied that into a master manuscript. And so that is a great tool that a lot of people overlook. They feel like they can just sit down and write, and then they get confused and frustrated, or they wind up repeating themselves, or all of a sudden they've got this great body of work, but they don't know how it flows together. So an outline first is going to give you some great, actually a great status indicator. It's going to give you a progress indicator of how far along you are, how far you have to go, and give you some light at the end of the tunnel. If you write your outline on a computer, you can now create infinite subpoints, and so you can continue to support and build on that. And in some cases, I've written entire chapters just in the outline, and then took out the outlining structure and organized it into paragraphs, but all the words were right there in my outline. So an outline's really helpful. Now, accountability is a second trick that will help you overcome that fear, and then also give you the motivation to do the work of writing. And accountability is a little bit trickier. It's a little harder to obtain because writing is so easy to put off. It's so easy to put off writing. Well, there's too much noise, or well, I don't have the right lighting, or I should study this a little bit more before I write, or I need to refresh before I put pen to paper. And accountability will get you writing, get you doing the work. And the best way to create accountability for free, both of these tricks are for free, is to start a blog and share it with people that are going to be interested in the subject. So say you're writing a book on prayer. Contact a couple people that like prayer, that are interested in studying on prayer, or who want to hear from you on a subject like prayer, and start blogging to them. And I don't mean to load your writer's workload up with more work, but blogging is going to create an expectation. So now you have an audience that you're supporting and feeding, and you're not just writing for selfish reasons. Now you're writing to people, and they're going to give you feedback, and they're going to expect another post. Maybe they'll even pester you, hey, when's the next post on prayer, if that's what you're writing about. So I'm using blogging just to get you writing. You're not actually going to do any more work. I'm not asking you to make a great blog, a fancy blog. I'm not asking you to put pictures with every post. You don't have to do any more work, except maybe interacting with your commenters or interacting with your fans on your blog, your readers. But in doing that and interacting with them, you're going to make your writing better. So I don't think it's any more work. I think it's just a bonus. And you're going to gain the accountability of public writing. Blogs are super easy to set up, and the posts will give you feedback and improve your writing. Some people will come along and ask, did you think of this point? Or have you heard of this illustration? Or maybe I noticed you didn't quite capitalize on this line, and they're going to make your writing better. People will also share new sources with you that you might decide to include in your book. Blogging will likely also make writing more enjoyable for you. A lot of people blog just as a hobby. They don't actually have anything they're trying to change the world with. They're just doing it as a hobby. And blogging will also get a fan base for you before your book's ever published. So something a lot of published authors say currently is that they didn't understand that publishers don't really market for you. A lot of people think that once you have a publisher, your book is made, it's done. The work stops. But a lot of publishers, big name publishers, come to the author and ask them, what kind of platform do you have? Come to the author and ask them, how are you going to market this book? Because a personal connection is more important and more powerful than just marketing dollars, posters, and advertisements and such. And so you're going to have a fan base. And if you're not comfortable thinking of them as fans, you're going to have a group of people that are interested in the subject already because they're connected to your blog. And so when you're done, you wrap it up and you say, hey, I made this into a book and you've been along the ride the whole time. Would you like to read it? And they're going to say yes. They're going to say yes, and because they've been connected to you and the book the whole time, they're going to tell their friends and family about it, and hopefully your book will launch a lot better because you blogged. So again, recapping, outline what it is you want to write, and outline further what your subpoints are, what your collection is of what your body of work, your bibliography, all of that. Put all of that into your outline, and then blog from your outline and reap all the benefits of public writing. When you're all done, when you're all completely done, you've written everything you need to write, and you're ready to be edited, and you're ready to be formatted, and you really want to get your book out. You feel like you've said all you need to say on the subject. A good publisher, a nice publisher, will take just a compilation of your blog and format it. Now you're going to pull out maybe updates or community-minded bits that you put in there, but as far as the writing, you should be able to hand or email a publisher a Word document that is your manuscript, that's organized the way you want it, but you shouldn't have to format a whole lot. You shouldn't have to do their work for them. And a nice publisher will take that, put a book cover on it, format it so it looks nice, and have a book to you in a month or two. And that's what we try to do at KingdomPublisher.com. So if you're interested, KingdomPublisher.com also has an author helps little booklet, a PDF that we put out for free there. It's under the resources tab, and you can go there for free and see how we're different, what it is that makes us special, what it is we can do for you. And hopefully this is a blessing to you. I am passionate about our movement writing more. We have way too many stories, we have way too many testimonies, way too many biblical insights that are dying with the people that hold them. And once you put it on paper, it lasts forever. Once you put it on paper, somebody can find that and use it again. And this has been a short of A Certain Sound. Please look forward to our next episode, which will drop next Tuesday. And subscribe, please. Subscribe wherever you can. Subscribe on your RSS feed on your computer. Subscribe on your Android phone or your iPhone or your iPad. You can follow us on the YouTube channel, A Certain Sound. You can also follow us on Facebook. We have a page where we're going to post all of our upcoming interviews, so you can ask questions of authors and interviewees before they even get on the show. And you can also follow along and see where the new episodes are going. Thank you so much. You have a blessed one.